Today guys, we are going to do some account reviews. This is going to be a special stream from Hokkaido right now. That's why you can see us also in traditional Japanese clothes. I'm not trying to be like step or anything or just trying to wear for fun for showing off, but it is my pajamas for tonight and this is a special stream that we're doing on Twitch. So make sure you are following us on Twitch as well if you haven't already. And this is of course live stream on Twitch. You can see chat on the bottom left over there. But let's do some account reviews, shall we? This is all posted on r/EODGamer on Reddit. If you guys have any like questions, account reviews, and you like this format, make sure to like this video and leave a comment. And we might do yours next as well if you post it on r/Reddit EODGamer in future too. I don't charge at all. I know some content creators charge people to do account reviews. Mine is totally community give back. So it is what it is. But let's first go in order, shall we? Xiao made a good point, one of our moderators, starting with the oldest one first, and then we go on as it goes along to the more newer ones. And I tend to be a bit more detailed, but we need to balance between like detail and also going with fairness so that we can get as much as we can. So not too much detail, also not too much in depth. First one posting. Thanks so much for being the first one as well. Let's see. First of all, much love for posting our content. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Let's see. Your account reviews. I always like to start with the questions. Account characters. This looks like a very, very new player. It doesn't even have like a limited character at all. So super new player. I think this is going to be really helpful. Any of you new players out there, I think this is wonderful. Starting off with like a total new player guide. Because I'm sure a lot of people are like struggling right now. Especially when the game has progressed quite a bit too. So this is totally new. Basically with no limited characters, a ton of standard characters. In fact, a lot of standard characters. I'm just surprised that you haven't gotten any limited right now. Maybe you lost a 50-50. Feels like you lost a 50-50 already, right, chat? He lost one. Because this is a lot of 4-star characters that they have gotten so far. And you have like 2 standards. So you probably picked out one for free. And you lost like a 50-50. Along the way. So you are pretty much... So that's important to know that you're on a guarantee, which is very, very good. Lost all your roles for Fei Xia and Kafka, but everything happens for a reason. Man feels so sad, but yeah, everything happens for a reason. There are great characters coming up, so I wouldn't be like so disappointed or anything. There's tons of great ones coming up, not to worry. E4 Esther, E6 Herta, E2 Luca, as well as E3 Natasha. Out of this, probably like the first 2 are the ones that are important. Esther and Herta at higher add-ons. The rest of them are like so-so. I noticed that you level a lot of your characters like 40 though. Leveling to 20 is great. Because when you level to 20, you get the free standard pulls. The first ascension. The first ascension is like super cheap. You don't even need to like farm them up or anything. You just like get the simple mats, you level them up. So 20 everyone is good. But going any further than that, I think is a bit inefficient, especially in these early stages of your game. So number 1, moving forward, don't level all of them up. Like keep them where they are now. Any future character that you get, if you're not using them, just leave that at 20 is fine. Maybe you were trying to like find a new style of these characters. Maybe you didn't really know exactly like what you want to play. So I guess that's fine too. But just keep them this way. Just focus on a few characters in the very beginning. It will help you progress faster. At the end of the day, all of us are going to have like every single character at like level 80 because you are capped off by the number of new characters that come into the game. Okay, main questions. What banners and characters would you recommend someone in your position to pull, considering the opportunity cost? Waiting for 3.x characters versus potential income loss of not being able to do endgame content while you wait. This is a tough one, right? This is a super new player. We were all here at like some point in our Honkai Star Rail journey. This is like kind of like looking back. And this person is definitely knowing exactly what to build. Because he has Gallagher built. He has Lynx decently built as well. So 2 sustains. Herta is also decently well built. Himiko is decently well built. So Pure Fiction is like decent. You're going to be okay-ish in Pure Fiction, at least for a new gamer. What I would actually recommend, since you're on a guarantee right now, is there anyone that is worth it for you to pull? Probably DPS characters. In the early stage of the game, I would consider going for DPS characters because that is the thing that helps you progress faster. At this point, I need to ask you, like, what is your style of playing Honkai Star Rail or like games in general? Do you play for a very long time? Like, look at your phone right now. What's the oldest game that you have played? If you download like games in 2 months, you try them out for 2 months and then you drop them thereafter, then you are going to be very different from the recommendation that I give to someone who is like playing a game from 2 years ago and still playing it on a daily basis now. So very different types of people, very different advice. So let's just assume that you are a long-term player, right? You are looking for long-term account health, which is what our channel aims to help people do. If you're a short-term player, by the way, just a quick side note. If you're a short-term player, you want to go for maximum DPS, just go all in on DPS because you're probably going to quit the game in like a couple of months anyway. So you might as well get as much enjoyment of like beating endgame content as quickly as you can. So short-term players, very different. Second type is looking for long-term account health. The question is like DPS characters versus great supports is, can you sacrifice the early resources? You were already asking, losing potential income for not being able to do endgame content while you wait. To be really honest, 5-star limiteds are only needed to like clear the final nodes, like 11 and 12 maybe, Memory of Chaos 11 and 12. Your final nodes of like Apocalyptic Shadow, Pure Fiction, that's when like the 5 stars really matter. But 4 stars actually can get you 80% of the way, 75% of the way. You might not be getting everything 3 stars, but it doesn't mean that you a character that is a 4 star is unusable. So some characters that are quite popular even at E0, from your roster over here that I'm seeing, Shui is one of them. I think you can consider Shui in the meantime if you're looking for some. Pure Fiction is probably your best set. Every time Pure Fiction resets, you are very happy. You have Herta, you have Himiko, you have Serval, who gives you a lot of elemental coverage already. You have Pailu, which is... I mean, Pailu leveled with Lynx and Gallagher is a tricky one. I will honestly just like stick to Gallagher and Lynx because they offer you a lot more utility. Pailu is like... She is a 5-star, but she is a bit dated right now. I don't think players play with Pailu. I think Gallagher is like definitely going to be there. E0 is like okay-ish. E6 is much better, of course, but with time you'll get more of that. You also have Mark 7. You have Harmony MC, so you can play like a mini break team together with like Shui or something just for temporary while you're looking for better DPS. So I think you are fine with going for long-term, going for supports. DPS characters will probably be better if you're going for a short-term or you are looking to push further if you get bored of games very easily. Then I think this patch, Rapper is okay-ish for a break, if you want break exposure, because you have Gallagher, you have characters like Harmony MC, which everyone has for free. Even Esther is decent as well. Rapper is okay, but I don't think it's a top pick. If you're urgently needing like some sort of DPS, you want more stuff to clear, then I will go a bit for Rapper for your account. But honest recommendation, probably I would actually skip this patch. Even Akirion does not seem very, very tempting right now because you don't really know what's coming out in 3.x. For a new player, the last thing you want to do is pull into an old meta and then the thing shifts. Your account is in the best state to pull for the future because you are in a like literal blank state. You don't have any biases, whatever. You can prepare for the future and the future is coming. So 2.7, Sunday and Fucc, depends on which character that you like more. As we go on the channel, when we post, we'll post more information on those. If you're playing for long run, go for good supports. 2.7 is a great place to start. If you are urgently needing your board of the game very quickly, then like consider picking out a DPS. Akirion, Rapper, both of them are okay to start off with as well. MOC Jades are not worth FOMOing over. Yeah, Valdez was saying a little bit earlier on, MOC Jades are like not super FOMO. So don't be bothered about like the whole thing of like having to clear MOC 12, 36 stars or like your Apocalyptic Shadow or your Pure Fiction. All those are really not worth it. And in fact, early on in the game, I think most of us only started clearing like MOC 12, like MOC 10 back then, like probably 2 months in. So if you use like that as a yardstick, don't be too pressurized to like push too quickly as well. Okay, next, the second part of his question, which is, would vertical investment be more worth it for you right now as a beginner? Keep in mind that you are a free-to-play plus. Adjust the express pass. Okay, so you just buy the daily login passes, which is, I mean, is this good enough? It's actually great value. Prioritizes meta and clearing stuff comfortably rather than personal interest and obtaining every single character. Okay, this is quite an important one. This is basically touching on vertical versus horizontal investment. Vertical investment right now as a beginner, there is never a wrong style to go for at any point in the game. My issue with vertical investment is if you double down on characters this early on that don't scale into 3.0 and don't clear many content, then you might just be stuck in like Apocalyptic Shadow modes, stuck on Pure Fiction, stuck on like Memory of Chaos, and you can't like clear across the different ones. So to choose that character and go the long run is very, very tricky. Because what happens if like if I told you, right, yes, vertical investment, like double down on Akirion, like E6 and all that, then Akirion becomes irrelevant. That would be like a very bad mistake. And we are actually right now at a turning point, right? Anything can happen right now. Because 3.0 is on the horizon, it's just coming up. So anything can change. Vertical investment, probably not recommended. I probably won't recommend anyone go into that style right now, especially a new player. What is actually better is going for supports, picking key supports for a long run. Because you said that you're a meta player, you like meta, getting your supports will help you in the long run. You don't really know what direction is going to. But the upcoming supports in 2.7 probably going to be very interesting. A comment Veldus was mentioning also is quite good. Don't meta chase for nothing. If you just pick like the top DPSs, and I think it's a very valid point. The problem with like meta in a lot of other games and Honkai Star Rail, especially if you come from many other similar gacha style games, if you just pick like the tier 1 of all of them, like the meta 1, 2, like the whatever tier 0 or SSS tier, and you don't know how to build teams around it, you don't know how to make them work, and you slot all of them in the same tier and wondering why they're not functioning. Every tier 0 DPS or every tier 0 support has their specific team that they play into. Whether, for example, a character like, let's just talk about the characters that's upcoming, like right now, right? You have Akirion that's coming up. She plays into Nihility-based teams. But let's just say she's tier 0, tier 0.5, whatever not. At that point, you might be playing with tier 3 supports, tier like 2 supports, because you don't have any Nihility characters. So just don't simply just slap in all the tier 0. Team building is very important, and that's where I'll like move towards. Vertical investment, long story short, no. Not worth it because of going to new meta. And meta, just be careful of building teams first and thereafter chasing after like tier 0 stuff. Third question. What team should you run right now in order for waiting, the best chance? This is fun. Let's talk about it first in terms of the 3 different game modes. In general, I'll be least worried about Pure Fiction because you have Himiko and Herta both together. So these two probably will be an anchor in your teams. I see Serval being a good character also, especially if you need to like break some AoE lightning weaknesses. Thereafter, any other character, you just like rotate them in your team compositions. Generally, your 2 teams, look for 2 DPSs, 1 support, 1 sustain. Take for example, you are going with a DPS like Shui, who is excellent break character, who is also an excellent DPS. She's very versatile. And if you are playing maybe into Pure Fiction, you want to play Shui into Pure Fiction, and you're looking for example, lightning weakness, you can slap Serval on the second slot, so double DPS, and then you can have 1 support that buffs. Like let's say you want a break buffer, you put in Harmony MC. If you have already break on the other team, you can slap in like Esther, who you already built decently well. The other ones like Tingyun is also really fantastic. So Tingyun, I think, is definitely worth considering for your account. This one can go up a lot, and she will help you out a lot in the early game. So my recommendation for you is, other than like learning team composition, team building of your different rosters, is some key units that you can consider taking up to like your main team will be Tingyun. She's very, very strong. Even though you only have her at E0, she's still very, very good. Su Shang is also not too bad. She has good action advance on herself. She does good amounts of damage, can go into break. Luca is a bit slower, I feel. Overall 2 teams for you, and we of course do a lot of like team comps on the channel, but this is like a total fresh account. So how I will play this is I'll probably play Shui together with like Harmony MC and Gallagher definitely. The last one is a bit flexible. Since you already have like 1 DPS, 1 support buffer, 1 healer, you can either go with a second DPS like Serval. You can go with like whoever you need in the second slot if you're tackling a specific content. Because Shui has colorless break, so she hits across all elements. You don't really like need to have a specific content that you're targeting. You can run a double support, like maybe Tingyun together with Harmony MC into Shui and Gallagher. Possible as well. Or you could run like Shui into a double DPS like Herta, like Serval, like Himiko, wherever you need the extra damage if you're tackling a certain content. Second team, you can actually consider bringing in March 7 in as well. You can easily mix and match very well to sort the combination in it. Focus on elemental damage, elemental application in the start, because break damage is a lot. It's very, very efficient in the very early on, especially with like Harmony MC. And then when you get more characters, then you can slowly revise your team compositions depending on which style you like. We have a like video on the channel talking about the 8 styles of Honkai Star Rail, the 8 teams. That will kind of like tell you which angle that you want to go, what you want to focus on. Once you have that big picture overview, it will actually help you a lot in planning for the future and what characters to rotate in and rotate out. Because right now you are like a huge blank state. So yeah, if any of you want more new player content, check out the 2 videos that we will link in this video end screen right here. Thanks to our wonderful editors. But thank you guys again so much for watching this account review for new players. I'll see you guys in the next video. But for Twitch, we are going on with the next one. Let us move on to the next account review.